Okay, where is it? I think this is it. Yep, 1/2 inch, just like I thought. What has happened? By the way, welcome to today's show. The chain, which is dull, has jumped off the bar. And it does that sometimes when you cut small saplings. Maybe here's a better shot of it. You can see it's come out of the groove or track there that it's supposed to run in. This is a Poulan saw. It's a pretty good little saw. My son gave it, well, I don't know if he gave it to me, he's let me borrow it, but I think actually just gave it to me to let me fix it up for him. But I've got a new chain, and this one's dull. It's always good to have a backup chain anyway. So I'm gonna put this on, and it cuts pretty good, runs good. First time I've had this apart, so we will both learn. Don't know if I can do this one-handed or not. Let me get this loose, I'll be right back. All right, I got it loose. Whoever tightened this up really bared down on it. Let's put this socket on here. And I found if you just use a screwdriver and use it like a screwdriver, it comes apart pretty good. Like I said, this first time I've had this saw apart, so this will be a learning experience for both of us, or all of us. Let's put it that way. After you get it loose, I'm not at the best angle here, but after you get it loose, put this socket back on here and turn it a couple threads. If the socket sticks on the bolt, it's easier to get the nut out of the socket. So take that one off, take this one off, and lay them down there where you won't lose them. Using this old, I got this at an auction, this hay wagon. 150 bucks, can't beat it. All right. Now, let's see, we'll just do a little prying here, I guess. That's the way most of them come off. What am I missing? It's probably just full of wood chips. What a tight fit. There, that's off. As you can see, it's just looks like a basic chainsaw inside. Looks like the oiler works, plenty of oil there. But I don't need to take this package, cut this package open. I'm sure I can't do that one-handed, so I'll be back. Hang on. All right, got it out of the package. And while I got it apart here, take this bar off. Kind of oily. It's not a bad idea while you got it apart to go ahead and get some of this sawdust out of here. Usually when it's oily, it comes out pretty easily. I got some of it out. And what we need to do is take the new chain, which I hope this is the right chain. That's always a puzzle to get these untangled. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Also, there's some sawdust in here. Caked in there a little bit, not bad. Yeah, don't look too bad. Alright, now what we gotta do is the cutters. You'll see these cutters here that are pointed. Those go on top of the bar facing forward. And it's very important to make sure you put it on that way. Actually, these cutters, that's what it's supposed to look like new. Then this chain, which I know nothing about, has been sharpened a couple of times, and it's probably got one or two more sharpenings left in it. But this one is dull. I used it, and hopefully this one will let this all cut a lot better. Let me put this on the bar and then put the bar on the saw and show you how to tighten it up. The new chain is back on the bar. I just noticed this doesn't have a chain adjuster on it. Should be a screw. Usually on this side on an Echo. Well, it's not on this piece. After I get it together, I'll see if it's on the body of the chainsaw. Let me put this on and see what happens. I've said it before, poor people have poor ways. And with no adjustment for the chain on this particular saw, not one there I could see anywhere. So this must be an older saw. Don't know how old it is. It's a Poulan 262. It runs good. That's the only way I knew to get this chain on here like it's supposed to be. It's in all the grooves there. Pull it down a little. Try to take all the slack out of it I can. Hope this strap holds. And we're going to try that. Yeah, it's a sycamore tree. This was about 1 inch around when I planted it. I dug it out of a dumpster. And look how big this thing is now. Suitable for hanging chainsaws. But this is really a big tree. There's another dumpster sycamore there. He didn't get as big, but they were both planted at the same time. Let me step back and I'll show you. If you can tell, this one's probably 30 foot tall. This other one, the top broke out of it during an ice storm. That's why there's a hole up there. But she's a big tree. Well, let's get back to this chainsaw. It's supposed to be 95 today, 96 tomorrow, and early morning is about the best time to be doing any kind of chainsaw work. So we'll get the old screwdriver socket trick. And we'll tighten these nuts up. Well, of course, gotta drop it down in the weeds. It's hard to do anything one-handed there. Probably ought to have a GoPro. Let's try again. I'll take his glove off now. The greasy part's over with. Poor people, poor ways. There was an interruption there. My phone was asking for an Apple ID. It's not something like that, then somebody calls when you're trying to do your show. You know, I can get that pretty tight just like that. But I'm sure it has to be tighter. But not so tight as to strip it. Nothing worse than a strip bolt. All right, let me get the socket, lay this down. I find if I use a 1/4 inch socket as opposed to a 1/2 inch, let's turn this thing, there's less chance to strip out because you just can't put enough torque on it usually. And we're gonna snug this up, not nearly as tight as it was. Whoever did this last time, boy, they really bared down on it. That's one that wasn't stripped. But I think that is going to work. Let me unhook this and see if we can get her started and find something to buzz through. The thing about this saw, the blue knob is the choke, and the red is the on and off. When you pull the choke out, it turns it on for you. How about that? Then the primer bulb is over here. Probably push this a few times here. And I'll have to set the camera down to start it. But hang on. Well, I hadn't started this in, oh, probably a couple weeks. And I took about 5 pulls. My Echo usually starts on 3 pulls. But it looks like it's going to cut all right. Add to the firewood pile. Got to get back to the log splitter here. Got some wood over there. The rest of this tree here. Plus the woods is just full of more trees that have fell down. I was really concerned about that saw not having a chain tensioner on it. But it looks like I got it tight enough. I'll do some more cutting. Might have to loosen up everything and hang it from the tree again. That's a good saw. The one I really like is this Echo. Got tripped. This Echo CS352, it's a really good saw. This is my go-to saw for anything. It's cut a lot of wood. About 2 years old, still in pretty good shape. If I had to buy another saw, I will when this one wears out, which is about every 2 or 3 years. I've cut a lot of wood. But this is what I would replace it with. You can't beat these Echo saws. For the money, to me, a steel saw is just not worth it. Husqvarna is a good saw. They're kind of hard to start sometimes. They do a good job. My son's got one. He's got a Farm Boss with a 20-inch bar. That's a good saw for cutting out trunks of trees. But I've cut trees as big as 20 inches around with this. Just have to cut it from both sides, usually. Well, this is my choice and my recommendation if you're looking for a chainsaw. It's easy to start. It runs a long time on a tank of fuel. And something else about fuel. This stuff that you buy in a can is okay, but it seems like after you run a tank or 2 of this stuff, you really need to mix you up some real gasoline and some oil, because after a while, this stuff here, this gas in a can, even though it's ethanol free like it says, which is good, there's something about it that after a while, after a tank or 2, your engine on your chainsaw will not want to idle. I don't know what it is, but I've used this and my saw wouldn't idle, so I went back to the real gasoline that you mix yourself. And me, I use just anything. I've got this Valvoline stuff here. I got lawn boy oil, just any kind of good 2-cycle oil. I've even got some old stuff. I don't even heard of this stuff. But I haven't used this yet, but I'm sure it's good enough for a chainsaw. Shoot, these cans are probably, these cans are probably 30 years old, I don't know. Look at this old bottle I found. I guess it was an old half-pint bourbon bottle, whiskey bottle, gin bottle. Can't tell if that screw top or exactly how that worked, but that's an old bottle I found out in the woods. It's a wonder after all these years it wasn't broken. Let me focus in here. 200 milliliter, 6.8 fluid ounces. Don't know. Even got little hand grips here on the side. I just noticed. It's like little indentations on the side of the bottle on both sides. I guess so you don't lose your grip while you're driving down the road. Don't want to spill any of this. It's kind of cool though. If anybody knows what used to be in this bottle, leave it in the comments below. It's just been riding around with me on the gator. Thought I had some other stuff in here, maybe I've already taken it out. It was on the fire starter. I don't see it. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for watching today's show, and I'll come up with something for next time. Thank you. In a previous show, I mentioned I had a cherry tree that was covered with poison ivy. So I let it lay here and dry out. And I just used that Poulan chainsaw to cut it up. And as you can see, I didn't have any trouble with it at all. The chain stayed tight. And I was able to cut these bigger pieces here, the trunk. They're 11, 12 inches across. But I didn't have any trouble at all. Of course, they had a new chain, that always helps. But I didn't have any trouble at all cutting this cherry tree up. Poison ivy dried up. Hopefully I didn't get any on me. But there's quite a bit of firewood here. This will last a couple days. That's locust back there. And that's a pile of cedar. I don't burn the cedar in the house. It's more for a fire pit. This locust I'll probably burn. It burns good and hot. This cherry though, I've just cut up with that Poulan saw. There's another little project I got done today before it got hot. That brush will go back to the burn pile. But I'm happy the saw did a good job. That's my dirt pile. Since the backhoe hasn't been running, I haven't been able to turn it over. I usually keep it turned over. But I figured out, I got it going. Got the wheels turning, if you saw it in the previous show. And it's over at my son's shop. They're gonna go through it and find out why that wheel's locking up. And hopefully I'll get it back within a couple months. And there's another dirt pile down there. If you can see it down the distance. Weeds aren't as bad on that one as they were on the weeds really grow here. This is black dirt underneath all that. It's really, it used to be chips. It used to be wood chips, just like the ones I showed you earlier on another show. And it really grows the stuff. It's just black gold. And over here we got a cedar tree that I cut down out there. I haven't cut it up yet. That might be tomorrow's job. Starting to look like rain. Didn't think it was supposed to. That's a big oak tree there. And I've got several of those on my property. Some of them back in there, but you can't tell which is which. Some of them are maple, some of them are oak. Then we got this dead tree here that's slowly falling down. That's another ash, I believe, another victim of the ash borer.